are many good points about Phuket Sandbox and Test and Go. Which one shall you book? Because they are in two different schemes, 7 nights or 2 nights. In this video, I will sharing this tip for you. Let's check it out right now. Sawasdee ka. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sawasdee, Thailand. In this video, I am very happy to sharing you these two things about the sandbox scheme and test and go scheme, because they are still in a hot topic and hot issue at the current situation. We still receive the booking, sandbox booking, Phuket Sandbox, Samui Sandbox, as well as test and go. What is the good thing about sandbox? And what is a good thing about test and go, and what is the difference? So if you have not seen in my previous video that I have talked about, I will explain very clear about how you're going to book, how you can make 2-night quarantine for test and go model. If you have not watched that video, you can go and have a look at that video. So I have explained very clear, but in this video I will sharing you about the good point Phuket Sandbox and a good point of test and go. At the end is your choice to make your decisions. Phuket Sandbox criteria, what's a requirement, and who eligible to enter to Thailand, because I want to make sure after you watch this video you will be very clear about these two schemes. You don't need to ask anyone anymore. These two models are for fully vaccinated. For unvaccinated, you must go for AQ, alternative quarantine. So now I will start with the requirement. The Phuket Sandbox, you need 7-night accommodation fully paid, and as well as RT PCR test prepaid as well, and the insurance 50,000 USD and cover the symptom even you don't have symptom. All right, and the next one is Thailand Pass. So you will see the difference now between Phuket Sandbox and test and go. Only one thing is accommodation, right? Accommodation 7 nights and accommodation for 2 nights. As you can tell now, the difference is only the accommodations from 7 nights to 2 nights. But these 2 nights for test and go, they're asking you to stay on the first night and the 5th night. That means number 2, after you receive the RT PCR test negative on day 1, after the 2nd day, the 3rd day, and the 4th day, you can be free, and you can, but you need to come back on the 5th day to do a test and also stay at the hotels. Okay, so that means a lot of people are still, this is not convenient at all for me. I rather than stick with my original plan. First of all, they don't want to move around. If your purpose of coming is for holiday, some of the passengers come to Thailand for a holiday. Some of the expats return home. I understand if some expat return home, they will book 1 night in one city, another night in another city that I have explained on my previous video. Nevertheless, there are many of the tourists also who willing to stay at Phuket or Sandbox scheme for 7 nights. That's why there's not really much difference between 7 nights and 2 nights, because you need to come and stay at the hotel on the 5th day. We still receive the guests making the booking via Phuket Sandbox. This is another main reason why the Phuket Sandbox still be on the demand. And also another reason that we have come across in the past a few days. You don't have many other choice in other cities that you can book RT PCR test and Cha hotel. I'm not talking about main city. A main city you already have the main tourist destination. You will have Cha Plus hotel. But if you want to book separate 2 nights in different city that very remote and not in the main tourist destination, you will not find Cha Plus easily to make the reservation. And the most important thing is you need the Cha Plus hotel, as well as this hotel need to be contract with the hospital that can do RT PCR test and meet requirement of the Ministry of Public Health. If you find Cha Plus only, does not mean that this hotel is allow you to making the booking. So this statement is very clear. The Cha Plus hotel, Extra Plus hotel, AQ, OQ, and the contract between the hotel and hospital. That's this another reason why the test and go 2 nights of 2 separate cities, you don't see that a lot of requests at the moment. The other way around, the sandbox 5 nights also in high demand. And I can see now the nature of the booking now, either 2 nights test and go in 1 city, 1 hotel, or 5 nights or 7 nights. I don't see 2 separate cities yet, as I mentioned, because of the variety of the hotel are not a lot. Even they have chart plus, they need to contract with the hospital to be able to receive the guests from test and go for the second night. Another good thing about Phuket Sandbox or Samui Sandbox or Phang Nga Krabi Sandbox, you are allowed to move the hotel. Within 7 days, you can move the hotel, maximum 3 hotels. For example, you go to Surat Thani, Got Samui on the first night and you do RT PCR test. And the next day, you receive the negative result of RT PCR test. So you can move to Got Phangan another 3 nights, or maybe you come back to another 3 nights at Got Tao. So you still feel this is a holiday, this is not a quarantine. It doesn't make much difference at all for a test and go, unless the test and go reduced to 1 night. That will be a big difference. You never know. That maybe they will adjust it later, because now they start talking about endemic now, endemic, because we don't know how far and how long the regulation of quarantine in Thailand going to be. A lot of guests don't mind staying in 5 nights, 7 nights, but they don't like RT PCR test, which I totally understand, because you do RT PCR test before your departure, one time arrival on day 1, and on the 3rd time on the 5th day. And before your departure, another 1 time, before you go back to your country, another 1 time. So totally 4 times, and each time are costing the money. This is the main key that stop travelers to coming to Thailand. If you have any comment, or if you are agree with me on this, you can welcome to give me some comment, and what do you think about Phuket Sandbox or test and go. Which one do you prefer and which one is better? So please feel free to give me a comment. Before I end up this video, I've not forgot that I'm going to give you an answer as my previous video that I have promised with you about sharing, invite your guests to sharing your room during your test and go. For sandbox you can, but test and go also same answer. You can invite your guests to sharing your room after you receive negative result. So congratulations. Some of you maybe think I received the negative result the next day anyway. So what's the difference? I understand, but some of the hotel you may lucky you get the result faster, depend on the schedule of between the hotel and the hospital, and also depend on your arrival time as well. If you arrive at the hotel very early, let's say 7 a.m., 6 a.m., maybe you will get the same result. But if you arrive maybe 5 p.m., 7 p.m., so definitely you might need to get in the next day. So maybe you can check with the hotel that you book. How far do they get the result of the RT PCR test? And additional that I would like to give it to you is you can also making the booking for sandbox scheme at Pattaya district at Bang Lamung and Jom Tien and Bang Sere. And another province is Strat, which is Got Chang. Got Chang is a beautiful island. This one is a new scheme of sandbox. If you want to stay remote for 7 nights in the island and your ticket is not going to Phuket, your ticket is coming to Bangkok, you can making the booking at Got Chang. It's Strat province. And if you want to take a look at the package that I have mentioned about either Phuket Sandbox, Samui Sandbox, Krabi, Phang Nga, or AQ for unvaccinated, there will be more packages available at Got Chang and Pattaya for Sandbox. So welcome to take a look at our website that I will give you on the description below. And if you just bumping to meet my channel first time, and for the old subscriber, thank you so much to be with us, Sawasdee Thailand, and be with me since the start. And also thank you, welcome for a new subscriber also. This channel, Sawasdee Thailand, I'm bringing you this most update new about incoming to Thailand. So same as my next video that I'm going to give you a more updating about Thailand Pass on the new version of Test and Go 2 nights. That's at the moment they are still brainstorm between hotels, Thailand Pass, the Consular Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Department of Disease Control. There will be another chapter of Thailand Pass. So don't miss the next one. So don't forget, if you have not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe so you will not miss any information that I'm bringing you and updating in a new episode. Thank you for watching and I'm hoping to see you again very soon. Bye bye. สวัสดีค่ะ